Everybody, happy June 10th, 2020. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on today's show, a special guest, a former Bristol Blue. I've already had a couple on, so I might as well just get the entire team on, because, they're in Bristol. This player played for Bristol for about 6 weeks, give or take. His name is JT Mounce. JT, it's a pleasure to be able to have you on the show.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be on here. Appreciate you having me.
You know, JT, I think for people who may not know, you were with Bristol for a good amount of time. You came in with a lot of hype. I know my partner, who was the color commentator, Matt Pollock, spoke very highly, and he was, in the words of the kids that your age use, hyped that you were coming on the team because he saw your football film and he was like, "This kid's fast." And I said, "Okay, watching film, some guys can look fast, but when you actually watch them, it's different." And then when I watched you steal one base, and then another base, and then another base, I was like, okay, he's fast.
God bless me with speed, and I like to use it for sure.
So how you been as far as, dealing with the quarantine? I know we spoke before about how your family's been trying to get through it. Your dad's basically working nonstop, but just how is everything going?
Yeah, it's been great. We had a family friend that actually gave us some kind of a squat rack and, some weights, which I've never had before, so that's been awesome to have that in the garage and just kind of keep some sort of normal going and stay in shape and stay getting stronger. It's been tough. A little bit just because you're out of your routine and you're not seeing pitching or you're not on a field all the time. But I think a lot of us around here have done a pretty good job, and now we're about to transition back into baseball, and we're all really excited to be back out there with friends and teammates again.
Now, when you were at OSU, when you found out that the season, and you and I actually talked when this whole pandemic was going on. I remember we had a long conversation when I was driving back from Amherst about this entire
Mm-hmm.
pandemic. And
Yeah.
a lot of what we talked about ended up happening. So
Yep.
when you found out, when the news was broke, what was your reaction, and then what was the team itself reaction?
We were in the midst of practice actually. The whole season hadn't been canceled yet, but we had a weekend series against it was Fresno State. We were getting ready for it on a Thursday, and Coach Holiday comes beginning of practice and goes, "Hey, they can't travel. Their conference is suspending travel and activities for until further notice." And so we're all like, just a little bummed out about that, but we're all just going through practice as usual, trying to get our work in, and then mid practice, NCAA came through and was like, "Hey," and this one they canceled all the spring championships, and so it was definitely mood changing. Everybody kind of realized like, "Hey, like this is a big deal, and like this is gonna affect our season." And at that point, I think it was tough on me just because I knew like our season didn't come to an end before we had just hit our stride. We were just starting to play really well, so I was we were all really excited because we were starting to play our best baseball, and then to have it end is unfortunate, but I felt, I just felt for the seniors. Obviously, at that time they didn't know they were getting the year back, and obviously they were devastated, and it was just hard to watch because you can't say anything in those situations that helps them because there's a bigger thing happening that you can help. So it was just hard. I was just trying to do as best I could to like be comforting for those guys and just talk to them, and just try and tell them that it's going to be all right. And, I'm happy for them because they're getting the year back, and, they're getting another year on the mound or in the field to, be themselves for one more year. And that's great for them. And obviously watching it end like that was weird, but, I think we're all thankful that we've all been okay. And we're going to get to play baseball again. It's not the end. So.
And you mentioned about the seniors coming back, and that's a part of the plan that was agreed upon about having the seniors, if they were allowed to, depending on, I know with some like Yale, for example, the seniors cannot come back. Other programs can kind of pick and whatnot, but specifically with you guys, with the seniors coming back, it forces a lot of players like yourself and others to have to make a decision about, okay, what do I do? Because a spot that may have been open with a graduation or a draft pick, which we'll get into later about the MLB Draft, you would be able to take the spot. But because of what happened and with players coming back, it made your decision difficult. And I know you thought about it for a long time. Now, tell people about why, what your decision was.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing for me was just throughout all this was just trying to play the hand you're dealt. I mean, just not control what you can control, and just keep working and let the outside factors take care of itself. But yeah, I mean, I had talked to Josh in the season phone calls, and he just came to me and was like, look, like obviously none of us had expected this happening, and seniors are all planning on coming back, and he was just like, look, like came to basically down to like, I want you to play somewhere next year, and I don't want you. It's not worth it for you, and you don't need to. Like, I don't want you to come back and sit another year. So he was just kind of presented the opportunity, like, hey, would you think about this, or would you think about this? And so, I had obviously thought about it, and it's something that, I mean, college baseball guys have never had to deal with before, like a pandemic like this. So I just ended up sitting down with my family and people, wise counsel around me and talked to them about it. But I ultimately decided it was probably best, to transfer and look for that next opportunity. But, obviously I love those guys to death, and it was a tough decision to leave, but, it was probably what's best for me, and that's how it went. But, I'm super thankful for the year I got at OSU. It was probably the best time of my life. And, yeah, I mean, I got nothing but awesome things to say about that program and those guys and those coaches. So it's tough, but ultimately it's probably what's best. So.
And hopefully, you can find your path. I know you've been talking with a couple schools, and I'm sure your decision, I mean, you have a lot of time to be able to make that. There's no pressure on having to make it by tomorrow, so you have that time. But, you mentioned about what OSU had done for you, and, something you'll never forget. The time with the Blues for the 6+ weeks you were there, the first time I talked with you, you mentioned about how you wanted to work on pitches inside on the inner half of the plate and trying to be able to use all fields. And it seemed like over the time, and I know you didn't get a ton of at-bats, but I know that you looked more comfortable as the weeks went on.
100%. I mean, obviously when Coach Holiday came to me about that whole thing, I jumped on him like, that sounds awesome, something new to experience, and it's only going to benefit you. And so I was really excited to get up there and just play. I mean, that's all it came down to. But yeah, definitely I think that summer was very beneficial to me, and I had a lot of fun and really enjoyed kind of getting to work on your game and meet new guys and, experience a new part of the country. And I mean, I loved it. I think my swing definitely got better, and I was starting to, kind of feel into my body a little bit more and figure out kind of all parts and kind of how to create some more rhythm in my swing and, stay balanced and become a more complete hitter. So it was awesome.
How was it, because again, I didn't notice this in stupid me, that the Suns game, I think it was the first time that you played them where, at least in Bristol, where it was OSU guy, OSU guy, OSU guy. You had the kid, is it Trinkle? Is that how you say it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Trinkle.
I want to make sure I didn't get his name wrong because I know you can call it something else. You had him, you had yourself, you had the pitcher who did not pitch and, again, should have pitched because I wanted to see it.
Bryce.
Yeah, he shame on him for not going on the mound, and I wanted to see it. But it was just amazing to be able to see all you guys. And then your mom tweeted at me during the game and said you knew all of them and you guys are close friends, and I did not know that. So I think that's pretty cool that you guys were able to all kind of share the field together and then be able to go to school and then share school as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had kind of a team group chat, I guess, with all incoming freshmen, and so we'd all kind of got to know each other through that a little bit and just meet each other on visits. And all 5 of us that went to that league were pretty tight already, and obviously the 2 Pittsfield boys ended up being pretty good this year. Bryce being our Friday, Saturday starter, and he pitched really well. And then Caden obviously was a freshman All-American out in center and just had a crazy good year, and so I was super pumped for those guys. But yeah, playing against them for the first time in Bristol was pretty weird, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, you've developed some of your closest friends through baseball, and whether if you're playing with or against people, I mean, we're all just having fun being kids out there playing the game we love. So definitely enjoyable and something I'll never forget.
And I'm sure those two, if they keep their trajectory going up, they'll be very well amongst one of the top, names to be mentioned as far as the draft in a couple years,
100%.
And
those two boys will go.
Oh, 100%. I think that's great to be able to know, like, because of that group and having an opportunity to, potentially go to the draft, who knows about your journey? Maybe you could join them as well, man. Just need an opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Just looking for that right fit. And, I'm working hard and hoping that I get a chance and I can show well. But yeah, just trusting the process and through all this, and trusting that there's a plan, and just continue to work hard, and I'm just ready to get out there and show who I am. I guess show what I can do.
JT, it's great to be able to have you on and kind of relive the Bristol times and just to be able to look back, because I think that was a good time before all this other stuff that's been happening. But there is something going on today in Major League Baseball that can maybe bring a little bit of happiness if you're a baseball fan or just a sports fan. The MLB Draft starts at 7 o'clock, and the first round will be televised on ESPN. I think ESPN will have all the rounds. MLB will as well. You and I have talked about some of the draft picks last week. Is there anybody in the draft who either you played against or played with or know who you would like to share?
I think we played against Arizona State, and obviously Spencer Torkelson, who, I think he's going to go number one. Dude's a freak. I've never seen somebody swing like that, so I got nothing but good things to say about him, and it was fun to watch him do his thing, and I wish I had that kind of pop, but I just don't. So, but we played Vanderbilt in the fall, so we didn't get to see Austin Martin, but he was there. He was just banged up, but that was a bummer, him being hurt. In terms of OSU guys, we might have Caden Polkovich go. He's a infielder that played up in the Cape last summer. I think he's definitely got a shot. Our closer, Ben Leeper's definitely got a shot. But, we got guys that are in the mix and definitely have shots, so we'll just have to see. But I know a couple of high school guys, too, that are from, Houston, and Tanner Witt, who's a third baseman and shortstop from Episcopal High School. He's got a chance to go for sure. He's a Texas verbal, but, we'll see. I'm excited just to watch it, just to see names that you kind of know from the baseball circuit and, have played with or against, and see those guys succeed, which is awesome.
How about Jared Kelly from Texas?
I know the name. I've never seen him throw,
okay.
Obviously, besides video. I've never seen him throw in person, but dude's got electric stuff. I think he'll go. It's just a matter of when. So,
and
they feed those South Texas kids something different. I need to get on that.
I can say the same thing. I'm up here in the Northeast, look at these guys. When I was that age, I wasn't that big. I'm still not that big now.
I ain't that big either.
Hey, you're faster than me, though. I wish I had your speed. I'm slow as molasses.
I do have speed working for me a little bit.
I'll never forget, and this is the last thing, too, because I don't want to keep you up. I don't want to keep you forever. I'm sure you're busy with stuff.
You're good.
I remember saying during the broadcast, I think it was after your second stolen base because you stole third, and I was like, JT, he's just too fast. And then one of your buddies, because I posted it on the Blues Twitter, one of your buddies said something like, he's just too fast in quotes. I was like, hope you're not making fun of me, because it's the truth. He's fast. Come on. Just being honest.
Yeah, I think it was my younger brother, if I recall right.
It might have been.
I think it might have been. I can't remember.
But, JT, it's great to be able to have you on, and it was great to be able to see you play for the Blues, and, also meeting your family for the last game as well. They were very nice and cordial. I heard, they spoke highly of the broadcast either on YouTube or, I know your mom sent me a message, or just overall, it's a great family, and I really do, appreciate everything. Seriously.
100%. You guys gave them a way to watch games from home and kind of satellite broadcast it, so they were pumped to be able to just watch games and kind of cheer on from Houston. But yeah, I had a blast up there, and I'd love to do it again if it somehow worked out that way.
Now wrap things up here on the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So as always, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.